Diddy ass beat the feds. No matter how you look at it, he beat the feds. And people always be like, oh, you can't beat the feds, yada, yada. Diddy beat the feds. He's going to be out on bond. He's going to go home. He'll be able to travel and live his normal life until sentencing. And then I think when he gets sentenced, I think it's going to be very minimum. He's going to have more freak-offs. He's going to keep with the same program.
What an absolutely mind-melting afternoon in Lower Manhattan. Evidently, 30 straight years of marinating in designer baby oil makes a person impossible to handcuff because Sean P. Diddy Combs just slippery slid his way out of the biggest celebrity RICO show trial of the streaming era. Picture it, a split verdict, an audible gasp that morphed into a standing ovation. Yes, a standing ovation. For the defendant, and an internet howling rigged louder than any 2020 recount thread. In the next few minutes, we'll peel back exactly how the Lord of Lube wriggled free of racketeering and sex trafficking, why 12 strangers thought applause was appropriate in federal court, and why a puzzling faction of stans is begging him to sue the government for daring to arrest him in the first place. Grab a towel. This recap is so greasy it needs its own spill containment boom. Let's post the scoreboard that knocked the wind out of half the timeline.
Count 1, racketeering conspiracy, not guilty. Count 2, not guilty. Count 3, guilty. Count 4, not guilty. Count 5, guilty. So essentially, the jurors found that he was guilty of the Mann Act. That is the transportation to engage in prostitution, but they found him not guilty on sex trafficking, very serious charge there where he could have spent a minimum of 15 years in prison, and not guilty on that racketeering conspiracy, which he could have spent up to life in prison for.
Prosecutors had hung their hopes on those counts as the easy layups because unlike trafficking, they require zero proof of force or coercion. The jury treated them like expired Groupon vouchers and then clapped. Yes, literal applause. When the foreperson finished reading the split decision. Reporters in the fourth row swear Combs sprang up so fast he nearly headbutted his lead counsel, flashed a Broadway bright smile, and joined the clapping with rhythmic gusto. Court sketch artists could barely keep up. Somewhere in the back, Cassie Ventura, who ignited this entire case by filing her blistering 2023 lawsuit, must have felt her stomach attempt a triple backflip. She watched thousands of pages of evidence, thousands of nightmares laid bare, melt into confetti. Why the ovation? Theories range from jury fatigue, 8 weeks of testimony, 20-plus witnesses, and too many gruesome exhibits, to pure charisma. One juror later told a local radio host that Diddy's 78-year-old mother looked fragile during closings, and that nobody wanted to destroy her. Another explanation making rounds on Reddit. Hollywood has taught Americans that RICO prosecutions only succeed when prosecutors produce a flowchart the size of a football field. Lacking that cinematic aha, jurors defaulted to doubt. Whatever the motive, the optics were hideous. A billionaire clapping like a proud soccer uncle while survivors blinked back tears. Instagram became a virtual vomitorium in record time. 50 Cent, ever the petty grandmaster, dropped the first nuke. Diddy beat the RICO. Boy, a bad man. He liked the gay John Gotti. He deleted it in under 5 minutes, but not before screenshots spawned 1,000 meme children. Kesha posted 3 heart hands around Cassie's name, writing, "Your strength is a beacon." Rosie O'Donnell thunder-typed, "Money buys freedom, believe women," and logged off. Even Euronews crystallized the mood with a headline quoting Rosie's nausea. "I'm gonna vomit," but outrage had a shadow twin. The Free Diddy drones, accounts rocking 1997 glossy avatars, flooded timelines with number vindicated, rainbow prayer hands, and conspiracy gifs of prosecutors shredding fake evidence. One blue check asked whether Combs could countersue for defamation of greatness, apparently unaware that 2 fresh federal convictions still mar his resume. Legal YouTube turned into a digital emergency room triage. Hosts stared dry-eyed, repeating "I'm stunned" like malfunctioning NPCs. Every analyst had predicted the trafficking by force counts were slam dunks, unambiguously violent, loaded with corroborated diaries and photos. Then came the acquittal. Criminal attorneys quoted in the Economic Times labeled the outcome baffling, prosecution faceplant, and a masterclass in jury nullification. Their joint autopsy cited 3 fatal wounds. First, prosecutors overstacked charges. Jurors smell overkill and instinctively recoil. Second, generational drift. Jurors raised in the OnlyFans decade often struggle to separate transactional sex from criminal coercion unless literal chains appear. Third, defense chaos created accidental sympathy. When a senior defense lawyer quit mid-trial, citing ethical conflicts, spectators assumed guilt. Jurors, human nature being weird, may have leaned toward pity. Too much drama can recast a billionaire as David facing Goliath. Meanwhile, Twitter hatched conspiracies faster than rabbits. Was the jury promised Ciroc crates? All access freak-off wristbands? Did someone misplace a hard drive titled CCTV 1998 to 2023? Hashtags number freak-off invitation and number judge me daddy clung to trending lists for 8 hours. If you ever doubted meme culture could liquefy legal discourse, welcome to the largest spill on record. Now for calculator pain. Each guilty count caps at 10 years, but maximum in federal courts is like Bigfoot. Lots of folklore, few sightings. Prosecutors' own memo hinted at a 51 to 63-month range before credit for time served. Subtract the 9 months Diddy's already logged in detention. Apply good time credit, sprinkle in defense pleas about community giveaways, PTSD from Biggie's murder, and philanthropy. Result? Many experts predict 20 to 30 months in a low-security camp, half eligible for halfway house homestretch. Some pundits are betting money he'll be back in a luxury condo with an ankle monitor by Valentine's Day, sipping celebratory Ciroc and posting cryptic Bible verses. Every TikTok true crime creator with a ring light is already prepping a split screen. On one half, Diddy toasting freedom. On the other half, survivors displaying therapy bills and surrendering privacy. Viral caption, justice still buffering. The anger index is about to spike harder than GameStop stock circa 2021. You might assume 2 felony convictions would dampen stan fervor. You'd be mistaken. Lube loyals swarmed livestream chats, chanting "Number Free Diddy" and urging the mogul to file a $2 billion wrongful arrest suit. One donor dropped $50 to ask Liv if he could invoice Uncle Sam. A panel of lawyers simultaneously rolled their eyes so hard it looked like a group seizure. Another stan tweeted a GoFundMe link aimed at covering Diddy's unfair legal costs. Internet laughed. The fundraiser collected $237 before GoFundMe suspended it for fraudulent intent. Parasocial worship is a powerful hallucinogen. People behave as though a billionaire might invite them to a yacht if they clap loud enough online. Spoiler, he won't, but he will appreciate the free PR. The moment jurors left the building, witnesses scrambled. The former bodyguard who testified about crate loads of baby oil posted an Instagram story showing a packed duffel, Greyhound ticket, and caption relocating, pray for me. It vanished, but the screenshot cycle never sleeps. Cassie Ventura now rotates Airbnbs so frequently, her security team pins color-coded maps to hotel room walls. Jane Doe deleted every image of her 6-year-old, DMing, "Restraining orders don't stop billionaires." Even courthouse staff felt electricity turn sinister. A bailiff whispered to a reporter, "I've never seen jurors duck cameras so hard." The U.S. Marshal Service rarely offers long-term witness protection after a trial ends unless a threat is specific and imminent, which means many witnesses face post-verdict life armed only with a can of mace, burner phones, and prayer circles. If this feels dramatic, recall the pattern. Ex-employees fired after speaking out, producers mysteriously iced from industry events, stylists whose bookings evaporated overnight. One told Euronews, "If Puff can still pull strings in radio, imagine what he can do to my credit score." The justice system stamped case closed. Those witnesses stamped eyes open. Now the saga splinters into parallel universes, each spinning on the greasy axle of outrageous wealth. October 3rd, sentencing day, becomes a pageant. Prosecutors brandish victim impact letters thicker than dictionaries, narrate chokemark photos, and invoice trails. Defense counters with full-color brochures of orphanage donations and youth basketball programs, reminding the judge their client's empire employs thousands. If the bench lands south of 3 years, stands detonate confetti gifts. Survivors update GoFundMe headers from Justice Fund to Therapy Forever. While prison term math unfolds, civil court awakens like Godzilla under Mount Fuji. Cassie's paused lawsuit revs its engines. 2 other Jane Does, previously anonymous, file for emotional distress and lost wages. Civil burden of proof is preponderance, not beyond reasonable doubt. A 51% likelihood can now cost tens of millions. and insurance rarely covers sexual misconduct judgments. Billion-dollar net worths look sturdy until plaintiffs line up like dominoes. Corporate allies study morality clauses with magnifying glasses. Does Ciroc have an escape hatch triggered by any felony, or does transport for prostitution slide under the threshold? Revolt TV sells itself to advertisers as a platform for progressive voices. Marketers could quietly flee rather than risk backlash. Spotify faces a playlist dilemma: scrub Diddy from Throwback Thursday or ride out the storm and pray brand partners forget. And hovering above every scenario is the rumor of an exoneration island bash. Private sandbar, no phones, NDAs thicker than Bibles. Should even one shaky Snapchat leak a champagne and baby oil spectacle? The second wave PR blast could scorch whatever goodwill remains faster than a guilty verdict ever could. All the while, would-be whistleblowers take notes. They see a billionaire clap for jurors, watch survivors pay for extra locks, and ask, is the truth worth the risk? Many decide silence is safer than subpoenas. That chilling ripple extends far beyond one mogul. It freezes testimonies that haven't even been spoken yet. For witnesses, today's verdict serves as cautionary siren. Courage guarantees nothing but bigger targets. In a system where applause greets split verdicts and baby oil jokes outrank trauma, who volunteers for the witness stand? Until that math changes, silence will remain cheaper than truth. So keep receipts, lock doors, and remember, not guilty doesn't perfume wrongdoing. It often reeks of money's favorite cologne. Cologne fades, grease hardens, and no surface, however slick, can resist gravity forever, especially when civil courts, angry sponsors, and public memory start applying slow, relentless pressure. Stay skeptical out there, keep sleeping on your back, and if you hear heavy footsteps and the slosh of baby oil in the dark, maybe dial 911 before you tweet.